Hey, I'm Ricky Stevenson. I'm the owner of The Bar and Beyond, and normally I come at you guys with different exercise videos, especially Pilates, and different tips and tricks for dancers from a dance medical standpoint, because that's what I do. But today, I'm actually going to do something a little different. I'm going to attempt a hair tutorial. The reason I'm doing this is because I actually, in my other life, when I'm not helping people with The Bar and Beyond, I actually perform professionally with Ecclesia Contemporary Ballet. And as a professional dancer, we wear our hair in French twists when we perform. And this is something that I have dreaded for a long time. I've loved it and wanted to do it, but also dreaded the process of it because I could never get a French twist right. It never stayed up, or if it went up, it wasn't secure enough to actually dance in, or it was like really, really painful. But after many years, I figured out a way that works for me with my hair, which, as you can see, is fairly thick, a little wavy, and pretty long. So a lot of the tricks that I had found previously were for different types of hair, and it just never really worked for me. So this is something that I would recommend for anybody who has longer hair or thicker hair, trying to get your hair up in a twist that you need to actually utilize and not just look pretty. So this is going to be, let's just dive right into it. So the couple things that I recommend getting for sure are these little twisty pins. You don't need a ton of them, but they can really save you time and help things get secure. The next thing is you want something that's long and closed, whether it's something like this, or I had a different one. Or something like this. The difference is I prefer these, honestly, because there's like two little knobs. Well, this one's broken, but there's two little knobs versus this, which is like just an open close. Either one will work, but I think that these are a little more versatile because sometimes they open on their own and they become like this, which is helpful in other ways. So you'll definitely want the twisty pin, something that's closed and long. And then if you have anything like this, these are also helpful, or these kind will work. And then you'll want to finish it off with just a normal bobby pin. So anyway, you don't need all of those, but I do recommend the twist and the long because we're going to actually talk about why in just a second. So, all right, so first things first, you want to get your hair a little bit wet. I find it works best if my hair is maybe 2-3 days since I've washed it. If you just washed it and you need your hair to go up, put a little hairspray in so it's a little bit like stickier, I guess. Keep things together. But yeah, start with it getting a little washed. My company, we have a uniform wise, we part our hair on the left side. So that's what I'm going to show you today. And then we twist it up on the other side and in. But I think this technique is also still helpful if you want to part it different ways and twist different ways, because I watched videos to try and figure out what it was, and I found that this really helps secure things, whichever way you twist. So, all right, so you're gonna start. The key trick I found is I'm gonna use these long, thin pins as an anchor. And so what that allows you to do, not only will help with stability, but you can kind of determine what you want one half of your head to look like. Sometimes the twist is a little bit temperamental and it goes up looking a little different each time, but you can really help kind of guide. Maybe use some gel. I'm not gonna use any today because I'm not performing. I'm just gonna go into class, but you can use like gel or hairspray to really guide this side. So I'm gonna put one pin going down to kind of lock this into place. You can see I've done like a tiny little twist, just personal preference. And then you also really wanna make sure that this isn't going downward, it's more going straight back or even trying to pull up. It just has a more lengthened position, which in dance, in ballet specifically, we wanna look long and tall, right? It helps with our limbs. So if you can have your hair kind of angling up, it just helps with that line. So, okay, so this is what I was trying to show you. You can see this really long closed option with the two dots on each end. So that's what I'm going to use. The next one is going to go upwards. So the first one went down, this one goes up. And then when I put this on, I'm actually putting it on slightly off center because we're going to twist it over our head. And this is going to be that lateral border, that edge border. So I'm putting it from the back more along like this line instead of right in the center. Because if I put it in the center, I twist the twist and it goes off center. So we want to put a little off center to start. So when we twist it, it ends on center. All right, and then my hair is kind of feeling a little thick and fuzzy today, so I'm gonna put a third one just to kind of secure it. So I'm making just a line from the top of my head to the bottom of my head around this in the back. I'll try try and turn. Maybe you can see, maybe not. Like I said, I'm not a hair tutorial person, so bear with me on this. All right, so yeah, and I would probably do a lot more hairspray if I was actually getting ready for a performance. All right, so then from here, it's important not to pull down because again, we want that line to go up. Try to pull directly to the side, or I even try to prepare my hair by kind of pulling it up. So I really recommend this kind of brush can kind of smooth that out. So I pull, again, just slightly up, and then I take my hand and I try to go all the way to the base. You can kind of see my fingers right where that bottom pin is. And then from here, I'm gonna twist my hair under. And now you pulled the hair up, but we wanna actually twist as far down as we can and then start pulling it up. And I found I actually don't like a super tight twist. I feel like it makes things harder down the road. So medium intensity of your twist. You definitely want it to get secure. So as you can see, I twisted it up and then I'm just kind of pulling the rest of the hair. I already smoothed it in that upward direction, so I can kind of just pull it here. And what that does is it just makes it look a little bit more even, a little bit more natural. All right, so I got to the top. Camera keeps falling. So I got to the top, and from here, I'm gonna add a little bit of a bun on top, and that's because my hair, as you can see, is pretty long. Some people prefer just to like loop it in, so you don't have to do this, but I found I like the look of it, but also it helps because my hair is long. So from here, I'm just gonna loop it down and flip it under, and then really like pancake press it on the top. That's the trick. So you can kind of see there's some flopping off to the side. I pulled it down to try and get all the way to the base of my head, and I just pressed the top down. Now I'm going to use these little twisters to come in and just secure the top. Now these are helpful because it doesn't take a lot for them to get the bulk of the hair, but also kind of twisting on themselves. Oh yeah, it doesn't take a lot to get the bulk of the hair, but it also is a little bit speedier, which is helpful if you're like me and you're always running late. All right, I'm gonna put one more just kind of on the side here. All right, so it's not looking too hot yet. I'll try and give you a little show kind of where we're at. So you can see there's a little flippy flop extra hair. The twist is kind of on this side. Try and see this from this side. It's a little wobbly, but it's kind of generally even from bottom to top. Okay, so now we're gonna really try to secure the bottom. So on this, I have the twist on this side, and then I have it flipped and all the hair coming on that. I'm trying to take this bobby pin, come onto where the twist is, go around where the hair is loose, and then pull it back under and under where the anchor. So those anchors are that line right here. I'm trying to go on the actual nice twisted part over to the not twisted part and then under to kind of help secure it. So try to get it all set up and show you. This is a lot harder than it looks to do a little hair tutorial. More respect for people who do this on a regular basis. All right, I'll try and show you. Hopefully you can kind of see. It's on the twist. I'm gonna go around and then under, and that's the first step. All right, so that's just what you're gonna do along the whole back. I found it really helps to have things a little bit more open because you can kind of open it, go under where it's twisted, and then like pinch it almost to come all the way under. And it helps if you're doing this and you're not trying to film it. You can use a mirror to kind of see, because sometimes if you're putting it off, it's gonna be a little off center. So you wanna just make sure that you're really trying to align it, or kind of like a dinosaur, you get bumps in there, which you can really always fix later, but it can be helpful at this step to try to watch through like a little double mirror to see where each pin needs to go. I've done this enough I can semi-feel it. It's probably not gonna look perfect by the time I flip it around, but it's a little easier. Okay, so I've done these up the sides. Do one more here. And then the top part's really easy. You just basically go in and fix it up. So you can kind of see it's looking a little wonky here. So I just flatten it, make sure if it's off center, I kind of align it. Everything, again, you want to be really straight and centered as much as possible. And then I just go like I would for a normal bun and secure it into place. The curly Q bobby pins are up here. So sometimes I end up like locking one inside with the hair, which is super secure. Actually feels pretty good. Is a pain to get out because it's like which bobby pin is what and everything's on top of each other. But that's also another reason why those curly Q bobby pins can be helpful, is because it's kind of like a locking mechanism. Fits around itself. All right. So I'm just going to flip and show you what it is currently. Hopefully you can kind of see from like the side. So it goes all the way up, from the back, and then from the side here. So one other thing that I recommend, whether you're doing it with a small bobby pin or like a long one that's closed, I try to go all the way to the very, very base of the twist and go around that anchor and make it in as much of a point as possible. I think it kind of finishes off the line. It's almost, I won't say it's a slimming effect, that's not right, but like it really kind of finishes off that line instead of just like a little poof at the end. But also my director is always talking about, I always have flyaways right here on the bottom. So if I'm able to use these bobby pins to kind of secure them into place as much as possible before I start dancing, it helps them stay while I'm dancing. So let me see if I can get as much of a little pointed place as possible. Okay, and then yeah, from then you can really just fix it up. So I'm noticing on the side I've got some flyaways, so I can use the same brush to try and get that. I notice on this side it's a little lumpy, so try to kind of fix it from there. That's really where it's helpful to have these normal baby bobby pins to pull the little chunks of hair where you need them to be. But that's really all kind of the nitpicky side of things after you have the base. The bulk of importance is getting that anchor and then doing the pins where you go on the twist, around the twist, and under the twist as it's there. So yeah, again, if I was doing this in a performance, I would be spraying it a ton more the whole way, especially like right now a lot, and then kind of doing those last little minute secure into place pins. But I think I'm gonna cut it there and head on over to my own rehearsal for the day. So yeah, that's where you have it. Ooh, I need to get a little more. So what I would want to do is just finish off that bottom point. I said I would do it and then I missed it, but you see how it can kind of come and get a little poofy. So just trying to really finish that and tuck it under so it's really nice and neat and secure. But yeah, there's a couple other places I'd really fix up, but that's how you have the bulk of it. Like I said, this is what works for me for my hair, which was longer, a little wavier, fairly thick. But if you have curly hair or thin hair, I'd love to know how this works for you. I've helped a couple different friends who have different hairstyles, and those anchors really seem to be helpful for the dance world. But I would love to know what tricks you guys have, because I feel like this is something that is just comes in and out of performances, and so it's really helpful to know how we make it happen so that it's hopefully a 15-minute ordeal instead of, like when I first started off, an hour ordeal to get my hair up. So yeah, there you have it. Again, you could kind of, sometimes I'll make this a little bit looser and floofier so it's a little bit more up and over, but for now it works here. But yeah, anyway, comment below, email me, subscribe. That's a thing too. I will not be doing more hair tutorials unless everyone requests them for whatever reason, because again, it's not my specialty, but I will be sending out more videos on exercises, especially for dancers, but also for just general population, people who want to get into more fitness techniques. So anyway, I'll touch back with you guys later.